for Grabs, a podcast where three unfiltered friends talk about anything and everything. And now, here are your hosts, Tracy, Kim, and Rachel.
Welcome to Up for Grabs. I'm Rachel. I'm here with my friends Kim.
Hello.
And Tracy.
Hi.
Hi. Good to see you guys. Today on Up for Grabs, we're going to talk a little bit about the Olympics. None of us have competed in the Olympics. I want to be clear with that. We're not speaking from an athletic point of view.
Okay.
There's no kickball, is there? Ooh, that'd be
If there's
fun.
breakdancing, there should be kickball.
Exactly.
Actually, kickball would be fun.
It would be.
Okay, that's something we'll suggest to the
committee.
organizing committee in a formal PowerPoint thing. But I have been watching the 2024 Olympics. I wouldn't say that I'm a diehard. Like, I'm not scouring and like planning my day around the Olympics. Nor did I grow up doing that. But I do appreciate a good Olympic competition.
I remember watching them growing up. I did that.
Who's your earliest athlete that you remember?
Well, it's probably Bruce Jenner, right? Isn't that
Is it?
everybody's?
No, that's not mine.
Wheaties. I mean,
Okay, I have one from the same
Breakfast
Olympics.
of Champions. What?
That was a 76 Olympics. And I do remember him from
I don't know
that.
if I watched it then.
Yeah.
You know, I just think my memory is that who he was at that, you know, like, I was,
yeah, the Wheaties.
I was young. I was
Yeah.
I was only
But
4.
from that same Olympics, the first athlete that I remember and thinking it was so cool was Nadia Comaneci.
I've got a story.
Okay. Of course.
If you
She's
tell
probably
me
met
you're-
her.
Is she your aunt?
Oh, are you ready?
You totally set this trap for me to
I
say
did
Nadia Comaneci. Damn it.
I'm so excited you went there because I've got so many names to drop on this podcast.
God.
So, my Nadia Comaneci story.
And we all have one. We'll go around the table.
It's not actually mine. It's kind of mine.
Okay.
It is one of our super fans, my sister Angie.
Okay.
Angie this was, I think, maybe very early 90s. And Angie had just become a manicurist. And she was working at an Aveda salon downtown. And Nadia Comaneci was in town for something. And Angie gave her a manicure.
Stop talking.
That's kind of a big deal.
So there you go.
First of all, I'm more shocked. I didn't know Angie used to be a manicurist.
Yeah.
So could she do my nails on the side?
Probably
Does she have like a side gig going
I
with
don't.
that?
She doesn't right now, but I don't know.
I've just never had my fingernails done, and I didn't know I knew a professional. So
There was one time. Well, okay, I'm not going to
but
go into
really,
that.
the real story is now, was she able to talk to her because she was Slovenian or
She had a
something?
very thick accent.
Did she
She
speak
was
English?
Romanian.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know that. I don't know.
So you don't know if like she complained to Angie like, oh, that's
Probably.
okay. My question also, because it wasn't just her. Remember the whole thing? Like she won, she got a perfect 10. And that was like the first perfect 10 to ever be given in the Olympics or something for that.
She was the first gymnast to score a perfect 10.
And then she did like 4 of them or 10 of them. Or
She got 7 that year.
okay, I was
Wow,
right
so
there
Tracy
in the middle.
did her research. Good
I did.
job.
I've got a whole page of
So,
research too.
but Nadia, but don't you remember the coach Bella Caroli?
Yes.
making it
Because he was
all about him.
He was Mary Lou Retton's coach too.
Correct.
Right. So he parlayed her success, Nadia's success, and came over to the United States and was Mary Lou's
started
coach.
a camp down in Texas.
I don't know. I just felt like he always tried to make it a little bit more about him, and I didn't
He
like
was
that.
showy, but I think that it was his personality. I think that
Fiery.
his culture.
Wasn't there some sort of trouble with that?
His fieriness?
No, like was there not a what do you call it? Like a scandal? No,
Was there corruption with Bella Caroli?
I don't know. Maybe
I
not.
don't know. I don't think it was anything in more than maybe like being too hard on them.
Yeah, well,
That kind of. I
yeah.
mean, not that that's. I'm not
Right.
belittling that.
Okay.
By any means.
Okay, readers, just Google that.
Yeah, I don't really know. But Mary Lou Retton would definitely be one of mine. Carl Lewis.
Yep. And Mary Lou Retton doing that vault on one foot. Remember the drama?
Yeah.
that was the
Are
drama.
you kidding me?
Yeah.
I remember. I think that was on like. I feel like school was in session.
I mean, I just remember watching it as a family. I
Yeah,
mean,
like
that-
I
we,
stayed
you
up
know,
late.
Yeah.
Or maybe I was just
tuned
tired. Maybe it wasn't school.
I think that even from the last Olympics, which I really don't remember because it was during. I mean, I don't. If you have Peacock, then you can watch anything and everything. Like we have such access because
True.
of streaming.
Yeah.
To really be tuned in to when it's actually happening.
Right.
And it's happening. Yeah, because I think they used to save it and play it at night.
And they're still
you
kind of
wouldn't-
doing
you
that
wouldn't
on
know
NBC.
though what
Right.
was happening.
Yeah, but you didn't
Where
have-
now
Exactly.
I'm not watching it. I'm just on TikTok at night
Yeah.
and I see the highlights.
Yeah.
Which is too bad because I think part of it, like the whole, like I stayed up late to watch Mary Lou Retton do the vault because when else was I going to get to see it if not at that exact
Yeah.
moment? Yeah, it was more of a shared moment. But
Yeah.
no, I remember that. Yeah, so those were my earliest. I think Mary Lou Retton, was probably really my earliest memory of great Olympic moments.
Did anybody love on Atari track and field?
No.
No.
That was a really
Just you.
big. My maiden name's Wichascala. That was a big Wichascala.
Time out. How would you do track and field?
They had so you know how the controllers back in the day had like the more advanced ones. They had the buttons. This is when Atari got a little bit more advanced.
that's out of my
It
league.
could have been Nintendo actually, like the original Nintendo, and they had the buttons. And you had to just like to
Make them run faster.
Make 'em run
I was just
faster.
thinking of like, how do you make somebody
they
run
had
faster
like
with a
pole
joystick?
vaults, they had the long jump. They had track and field. It was so fun.
I bet-
that was probably one of my most favorite.
What was your
games.
best event, Kim?
I don't know. Maybe the long jump was
Was it
my
long
best
jump?
event.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's a runner. She's a track star.
She applied what she learned in the field. So I thought maybe we could go over just general overview of what we've learned so far from the 2024 Olympics in Paris. Let's start with like non-athletic things that have occurred, and then we can go to like specific.
Okay, before we get into it, my name dropping, should I do that like just intermittently?
Interspersed?
Organically, yes,
Okay, all right.
yes.
I was just checking how I should
we
go
can't
about that.
be like our mind blown all at once.
I'm afraid to even start with this because my first thing is I didn't watch all of the opening ceremonies because they lasted a really long time.
Well, it takes a long time to go through those
Those
countries.
boats were going slow. That's all I'm going to say. My overall review, I love the idea of the boats coming down the most famous, like the view.
pageantry was
the pageantry was
really
on.
cool.
Yes, that was.
Yes.
But everything else
I know.
was so bad.
I think
Okay, well, these people have been working their
I
entire
think,
lives, so you can wait
Parisians
5 damn
probably
minutes.
very much enjoyed but I think
Did you?
it was a bit over my head. A lot of
I didn't watch.
like you have the
Oh my
historical.
God.
I did watch it. I did. Mary made me watch it, and it took a long time to get through, but it was really. I mean, all I kept thinking was the money that they put into the production of it was insane.
Well, and at the very beginning, there was a little clip of Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
Talking about, I don't know what the hell he knows about the Olympics, but they told him what to say and he said it. But he did like the movie part.
Yeah.
Or like, and wasn't the movie part the faceless person that kept running through Paris doing weird things and you never saw their face?
Yeah,
Was
it
that
was-
the part that he did?
I don't think he did that.
Then what did he do?
I don't know. I think he was just
Chariots
the
of Fire?
voice.
Oh,
the
no.
voice of
I thought
it
he
kind of-
produced
Oh, you mean produced it? He could have very well produced it. I don't know.
Well, I just thought it was weird that he was had anything to do with the opening
And not being
ceremonies.
French.
Yeah.
I mean,
aren't there plenty of creative French people that were right there and could have done it?
Yeah.
It just seemed like a very American. I'm like, why
and
are
maybe
we there?
he was behind some of the production of it.
It just, the other ceremonies I didn't usually watch from start to finish, but there were, the ones that were just really pretty visually, like they'd walk around the track and then they'd have like a light show or whatever. That's what I'm used to. So this one really kind of gave more of like a Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. Like, oh, here comes South Korea on a pontoon boat, which some of the teams got totally shafted. They got like, I mean,
Was
they
it
were all
BYOB?
It was.
Some of them were yacht-like, and then
It
others
was.
were.
It was. Some of them were actually like in like the paddle cars that you on the canal, but they'd have it like that, and that would be the fun part of watching. They're like, and they'd have this weird segue to like the Lady Gaga performance, which
Well,
Okay.
I think hers was a little tied into a little bit of Hollywood because the Joker.
Oh, you're right.
And because I couldn't get it either. I'm like, well, I love Lady Gaga, but she's not French. But
then I saw the movie.
It's set
the
in
trailer.
Paris. Yeah.
Well, in the trailer, yeah.
In the trailer. So that was kind of, I think, why she did. I just think they wanted to show like the European history and the Renaissance and
they really went for it.
All the different, and quite frankly, that's a way over my head. I mean,
Right.
the whole, was it Marie Antoinette?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like awful, like they did that whole
Sure.
segment of all the ladies holding the heads, and
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
Are you going to talk about the Last Supper?
I mean, I could reference it. I do have a good explanation.
Please do.
Okay, so I'm just going to read, and I'm going to point out that I'm Facebook friends with somebody that I went to high school with, and I thought
you were going to say Jesus.
and she was,
She's really name dropping.
and this will take me just a couple minutes. Be patient with me, but this will get all the nonsense out of the way because she gave such a good explanation on all the uproar. She says, as a historian who's had the great privilege of teaching students with a ton of art, music, and theater, I am profoundly saddened to think a large number of Americans have no other reference for a banquet scene than a single Renaissance painting of the Last Supper. Then she said, I will always be grateful for my 7th grade teacher who taught us a very good year's worth of art history and to the music teacher who gave us a year of classical music history in the 8th grade. So much art history, music, and world history has been removed or is being removed from,
Right.
grade schools and colleges. And even a particular style or art performance isn't your thing. Understanding the history and the symbolism is an enriching experience. Invoking the truths of a Dionysus feast at the Olympics seems appropriate to me, and the reference to France's revolutionary history and attendant love of liberty add a layer of meaning that seems worthy of those 16th and 17th century feast paintings where the ancient figures were repurposed to mean new things. So basically,
It wasn't the Last Supper.
it wasn't the Last Supper. And then she did point out, because a lot of people, I could say I was ignorant, because if I would have seen that picture, I would have thought,
Well, that's the first thing I would have
a little
thought.
risque.
Right.
But her point was educate. They need to be more, and ask questions.
Right.
Like, I'm just going to say it that Kirk Cameron's sister, Cameron, I have a real problem with her snooty Christianity.
Yeah.
And
Did she go off on a
and
tirade?
She went off on a tirade. And then you read it and you're like, okay.
Oh.
And then people are clapping back at her saying, know your history. And
Right.
it just makes you look dumb.
It does. I think one of the things that bothered me more was that I don't know if anyone would have cared as much if the people that they thought doing the recreation of the Last Supper were drag queens. I think that had more to do with it than just looking like the Last Supper. You know what I mean?
But I'm like, no, you're right. I think it was twofold. I definitely think
so you could probably say, tell them that this was really a Greek thing, and they'd say, okay, fine, but why did they have to be? So they get to the root of the problem. Then why did they have to be drag
when
queen?
they performed art back in those centuries, that's what they look like.
Correct.
So
Yeah. So thanks for clearing that up.
Talk to Shakespeare.
That's right.
Yeah, they were all men.
The other thing about the opening ceremony that I thought was odd was that Kelly Clarkson was there.
Kelly Clarkson is a treasure. and
No, I like
love
her, but I'm like, why?
because she can sing.
She wasn't singing; she was talking.
commenting. Oh, well, then I don't know.
I thought more odd was the pairing of her with Peyton Manning.
It was weird.
I mean, Kelly did okay. She did okay. I think that I felt like both of them kind of were just really, they improvised whatever
Just
they said,
threw
and
him
they
in
just
there.
kind of just threw him in there. Like, I like Kelly, but Peyton, he's just kind of drab and boring anyways. So
I guess my thought was, I always love all the football broadcasts where it's he and Eli.
he's good at that. He's good at what he knows.
That's what he knows.
But
Yeah.
you know what? Put a beret on he and Eli and have them talk about the opening ceremony. That would have been just as entertaining to me. Them just being stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
It was weird.
Okay.
The other thing that I wanted to talk about was I was introduced to the fact that Snoop Dogg is the United States representative. He's like America's dad now. He's
Yeah.
representing us now for the
sure
whole
is.
world. And I just don't know how that happened.
Magic. I think a lot of it has to do with he never cared what you thought. He has been authentic.
True.
He is, yeah.
And the whole Martha Stewart, I mean,
I know.
gold.
I know.
So, and then from there, he just kept being himself, whoever he was around. And that resonates with people, that need for authenticity.
Well, he certainly is doing a wonderful job.
He's enjoyable. I've loved him from the beginning. So
Yeah.
Kim's been with him.
that's our era. Like, think about it. I mean, that,
Yeah.
He was popular when we were in high school, college.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So,
So no, he's surprisingly doing a wonderful job.
Yes, he is.
The other thing that I thought was adorable, did you guys see the story about Flavor Flav and the women's water polo team?
Yes, but it's Flava Flav. Did you say flavor as in O-R? It's Flava Flav. It's there. Okay.
I was trying to do his God-given name, Mr. Flavor.
you have to say flavor, just like 50. You can't say 50. It's
Fitty.
Fitty.
Okay, well, I don't know him, so I didn't want to be.
I don't know him like that.
I didn't want to be too familiar. I did watch his reality show way back on MTV. What was it called? Flavor of Love.
Flavor of Love.
And it was not
Brigitte
Flava. Well,
Nielsen.
it wasn't Flava. It was Flavor of Love.
Well,
Yeah, but he's Flava.
he's a hot mess, but
Dang
he
it.
is enjoyable.
He was married to Brigitte Nielsen
Yes.
from the Rocky movie.
Yes. I thought he was married to everyone. In fact, during
he has
that
been
show,
married several times.
during that show, The Flavor of Love, which I remember thinking, who wants to be with him? Was that I'm pretty sure he was married during the time. It was like a dating show.
Probably was. He probably was.
But now, no, the story was really cute.
Yeah.
It came out like the captain of the U.S. women's water polo thing put out on Instagram or something. We need help. We need sponsors because we have equipment and we have stuff. We don't have enough money. And out of the blue, Flav responded and said, I'm a girl dad. I'm all about women in sports.
Not heard the story.
I not only have you covered, I'm going to cover the whole team
That
for
is
whatever you
amazing.
need.
Because each person had to have like their own sponsors. So he said, I'll just do the team.
And so he's with, like, there's a picture, and I'm going to send it to you. So I want you to put it with,
I will.
when we promote the podcast. It's him in the pool wearing one of those caps that covers his ears and all the whole women's team around him. It is
It's bad enough
adorable.
seeing Snoop with one of those on.
Yes, Snoop was swimming with Michael Phelps last night. And it looked like he was giving him a swimming lesson. It was really, actually, it reminded me of that thing we went to see.
Oh, yeah.
Swimming is for everyone. I'm like, I think Snoop Dogg just learned how to swim right there on television.
Right before my eyes.
Do you have any names you want to intersperse just real quick before I go on to the next topic?
Okay, hold on. Let me see what would work there. Okay, I'll just throw this one in there because you were talking about the water.
Yes.
Sarah Bacon was the first medal winner for U.S. this year, and she went to Ritter, my high
saw
school.
that.
Oh, that- I didn't know that.
her,
That's awesome.
But I am dropping that.
That is awesome.
West Side represented right there in
That's
Paris.
correct.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
The other coverage that I have found to be hilariously fun and delightful is Colin Jost. Have you seen him in Tahiti?
I saw a little bit I was up late last night.
Okay.
And one of the guys at the end when they do at 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the news doesn't even come on till later now. He's in Tahiti covering the.
I don't know who he is.
He's married to Scarlett Johansson.
He's on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, yeah, I know who he is.
Really
I just didn't know his
cute,
name.
really
Yeah.
cute guy.
Yeah.
What did he do to his toe?
Okay, so they throw it to him in Tahiti, and he's standing, it looks like in someone's backyard, and his delivery, he's so funny. He's like, well, thanks, Mike. You can see chickens wandering around behind him, and he's like, well, it's been a really high production day here, my producers, these chickens in the yard. He said he scraped his toe on the coral reef. He's like, my toe is currently bleeding. If I make a face, it's because if I keep my foot still, ants crawl into the wound. He's like, yeah, I'm having a really good time here. I was laughing
And everybody thought
so
that was
hard.
such a luxurious spot to be.
And he's like, the athletes are either staying on like a cruise ship, like a boat,
Yes,
or with families that live in Tahiti, like they're sleeping on their couches, and then they go throw it to him last night.
Oh,
Did you see it?
He was on a beach chair with the foo-foo drink.
He had a foo-foo drink, and they're like, well, why is your foot out of the water? He's like, well, because my toe's still taped because the doctor said I can't get it wet. Oh, and I also have an inner ear infection, and I can't fly for 72 hours. He's like, so I'm on enough medication here. He's like,
He was drunk. He's so funny anyways.
so just the fact that he was having a miserable time in what everyone else is perceiving as to be paradise.
That it would be paradise.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure, if you haven't seen it, Colin's reporting, you need to look it up. It's
Okay.
It's been outstanding. The only other question I had was if breakdancing. Now breakdancing hasn't happened yet. I feel
I
as
do not believe, because it would be all over. It hasn't happened yet.
the
has it?
Olympics are
think
about
so.
halfway over. As we're
although they are calling it breaking.
Like breaking to
That
electric
is
boogaloo.
the. What do my notes say right there?
holy,
Did you write that down, dear Lord?
there's no stopping us.
Breaking to electric boogaloo.
Let me tell you, both those
saw the
movies were
theaters.
good. So,
They were.
Okay, they
I
were.
saw the
Okay.
theaters.
You're not going to say you know Ollie and Jerry, are you?
And you're
No,
remembering the
maybe.
names?
I was a
Wow.
fan. Okay.
I think you're a super fan. I didn't know their names.
Me neither.
The people that sang "There's No Stopping Us," yeah, this is Ollie and Jerry. Look it up. It's anyway. But my question is, if breakdancing, which I cannot wait,
Breaking.
if breaking is an Olympic sport,
Right.
are we too far away from like show choir competitions being an Olympic sport? Because I would watch, and that would be awesome. Can
As
you
would I.
imagine how hard countries would go on a show choir thing? I've only been to high school show choir, and it's cutthroat.
Yeah.
It would be awesome.
Maybe they could incorporate the synchronized swimming into show choir. I don't know.
I don't understand synchronized swimming. I don't know how they can do it so on point every single.
It's because they practice.
thing.
It's
And
insanity.
Yeah, I don't.
And they can hold their breath.
I don't understand. Like my brain can't.
I know.
Comprehend that.
I don't understand how they hold their breath that long. Have
No.
this strength. That is one of my favorite things to watch. I
Has it been
love
on
the
yet?
spacing, the underwater. I also can't swim with my head in the water. I have to keep my head up. So maybe that's part of the
Yeah,
problem.
no,
with it.
I could never.
You're just like the Saturday Night Live clip with Martin Short. You know what I'm talking about when,
yes, I
when
am.
he's practicing.
Yes.
He's like, I don't swim.
I'm curious with the whole breaking.
Okay.
Is it breaking? That. Yeah. It's
I don't
bizarre.
understand why it's a quote unquote sport. It's dancing. So if we're going to say that's a sport, then all dancing
Right.
is a sport. So where does it stop?
I don't know.
Okay. And the only other comment I had was I was watching skateboarding for some reason. Are they the only athletes across the Olympic board that compete for medals with AirPods in?
Possibly.
I've seen people, like, obviously people warm up. You know,
Yeah.
they've got their...
runners.
I was
whatever.
watching this man and he was doing a great job. And I'm like, he's wearing AirPods while he is competing. And I thought
Maybe
that...
it's just part of the look, like the street, like the.
Maybe it keeps
Really?
him on going,
Yeah,
like
I don't
the
know.
music. I don't. Good for him.
That's really.
Well, I just
yeah,
thought it was
didn't-
interesting. Like no other sports. I mean, you don't see like the gymnasts with
No.
that in. Why they...
Well, gymnast. Hold on. Let me see what else I got
Did
here.
you say gymnast? You already said Nadia Comaneci.
Okay,
There's no way.
So this one is not exactly again like someone I know, but in 2019, Simone Biles and the rest of the team.
Oh, they were here.
They were training at the gymnastics company gym, which is in my neighborhood.
Yeah, it's on
It's
Franklin Road.
It's on the backside of my neighborhood. You can get
I've
there.
been there.
Yeah.
We'll all be done. Who knew?
So yeah,
I did.
So Simone Biles was practicing gymnastics in my neighborhood.
Yes.
So I felt like I could count that.
You could have
I mean,
like
you
run
met,
into her.
Basically, you have met.
We hung out.
Yeah.
You could have run into her at like the subway or
Yeah,
something.
because we had just moved like a few months earlier.
That is crazy.
And then all of a sudden, I'm like, "Are they saying Simone Biles is in our neighborhood?" Like what?
Yes.
So
that is exciting. Yeah, I forgot about
okay,
that.
that's another one.
Okay, you got any more gymnast things before we move on to our favorite?
No,
Okay.
no more gymnasts.
So let's just talk. Like I said, at the time of this recording, the Olympics are only halfway over. Like the track and field has not even started yet. So we're just this is kind of an Olympic check-in.
Mm-hmm.
But the stories so far that you've seen about the athletes, are there any that have brought you joy or that stick out to you?
Yes.
Who?
Okay. I'm trying to decide which one I want to do.
Well, I'm going to allow you to do all of them, so you can start wherever you want.
There's a female rugby player.
Yes, on my list.
Tell me a little bit, because I haven't read a lot about her.
I don't know if her name. I don't know if you pronounce it. Iona.
I think it's Ilona.
Ilona Mayer.
Yep.
She is being shamed a little bit about her size.
She's being fat shamed. Yeah.
And she's all about body positivity. And there's a quote from her that says, hold on, let me see. I can't read my writing.
Oh, that's good. We'll just misquote her. No one will know.
Okay. She says, never tone it down. Take up space, be yourself. And I thought, okay.
She had to defend the fact that she had like a 30 BMI, which she said is considered in the doctor's manuals obese. She's not obese.
No, she's strong.
She's strong. Like she could kick anybody's butt, like
and I
that.
love it.
And that sport is rough. Like you have to be strong.
Yeah.
The day and age we live in just never ceases to amaze me.
Well,
how these people, their whole, that's their dream. And then they get fat shamed.
Yeah.
But what Tracy was saying, like she has kind of become the face of the women's rugby team.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've ever paid attention to women's rugby because I watched some of her TikToks and she has a super great sense of humor.
Yeah.
And she is giving a voice and a face to this sport, and it made me want to watch.
Yeah.
And did you see how their match ended?
No.
So this was so exciting. So I think they were playing Australia, and the women's team was going to lose. Like it was down like to the last play, and Australia had the ball, so they didn't even have the ball. And I don't understand all the rules of rugby, but the ball came out. It would be akin to like a team about ready to score a touchdown to go up 2 scores and like it'd be over. With no time on the clock, the ball comes out. One of the U.S. women, it wasn't her, Ilona, but it was one of her teammates, picked up the ball and ran 90 yards down the field with no time on the clock to win.
That is amazing. No, I did not.
Gave me
Very cool.
chills.
Yeah.
So yes, I had her on my list.
And the only thing I remember about the women's rugby team at Ball State was that they chewed chewing tobacco most of them.
Well, that's probably a prerequisite.
But that was late 80s, early 90s.
Different training.
Hopefully they've given up the tobacco.
Like it got them like hyped,
different
hyped up.
Different training now these days.
Well,
they don't just
Yeah,
a little more on nutrition, less on the nicotine. Kim, did you have a story or?
I mean, I think this is probably everybody. His name is Steven Nedorosik. I'm not saying it right. Is that the gymnast, the pommel horse guy,
Yeah.
or Clark Kent?
Clark Kent, yeah.
But just showing that you can be an engineer and have a nerdy brain and be an unlikely candidate for what he does.
He's a hero.
I'm not exactly sure what his vision issues are. I know that he's, dependent on his glasses and he's got some eye sensitivity, but he does not wear his glasses when he
pommel horses.
And I saw him getting interviewed by Hoda, and she was like, how in the world do you do it? And he does it by feel. And
he's basically blind.
he is, and he's got the most amazing personality. He is absolutely adorable.
He has stolen the hearts of many.
Yeah, the whole men's gymnastics team has.
Yep.
I mean, they stick these guys together that really don't know each other, and they show some. I read a quote somewhere that shows what male friendship can be.
Yes,
like men are so like I think that we're kind of like. Women are always, buddy and
right.
friendships. And I think men get a bad rap that they can't, actually be close and have bonds and have real relationships with other men.
Right.
I don't know. It's just really, really cool. I've really been following them.
I enjoyed that. I didn't realize it had been 16 years since they had even placed as a team.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither.
And this kid,
Sealed
Steven,
the deal.
he sealed the deal, and he's no pun intended, one trick pony. He can only do the pommel horse.
Yeah.
And he sat there and meditated the whole time. And then they're like, hey, it's time. And he's like, okay.
He's a pommel horse specialist.
That is amazing.
He comes in that where she said, what is your routine, your routine before? And he said that the meditating, he said, we were taught to keep our heart rate really low. And he said, so I get, and he goes, and then I close my eyes and I go over my routine over and over and over. Another interesting thing that the men's team doesn't do, that they don't watch the other teams compete. It just is a psyche, where it just gets in their head. So they just kind of in their
just
huddle
worry about
and
what they can do.
They're worrying about what they're doing. I don't know. They're just amazing.
That's a good way to live your life.
I remember at some point in the 80s downtown, I saw the American gymnasts come. Did you guys go to that?
I didn't go, but
I don't think I went, but I know what you're talking about. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
So good.
It was so good to see them. And it was, you were like, it was like a human circus.
I'm
It's
telling
kind
you,
of,
the
I
men
can't
are
do a
freakishly
cartwheel,
strong.
so I don't understand. Simone Biles, back to her. I don't understand how they project themselves
I don't either.
up
Muscle.
12 feet.
I don't understand
but
it
okay,
either.
muscle. Still,
Joints.
if you're 4.5 feet tall, how are you jumping 12 feet? Like that doesn't make.
No, it's
I don't
it's
know. I don't
amazing.
know
They really are. They're
physics, but
phenoms.
I don't
They
get it.
really are.
I don't get it.
And the fact that they're not only that they can, but they're not afraid to do. All I think of is how do you practice doing that? Because if you did it and did it wrong, you'd break your neck, right?
Yeah.
There's.
I would think.
I don't like it, but
No.
and it makes me nervous.
Oh,
but I love to
the balance
watch.
beam really makes me nervous.
Yeah.
I can't even walk across it.
No, I can't either.
I can't. I had someone hold my hand to step down off the sidewalk,
Off the curb?
into the street.
When I was little and
Give me a
did
hand. Give me a hand over here.
a core memory, Woodside Gym here on the South Side. I had my first gymnastics lesson, and it wasn't the balance beam wasn't as high as it is, I'm sure, but I fell off of it and I skinned my shin.
Ow.
And I still have a scar from it. Like, it's like one of those things where it just probably bled.
And there went your Olympic
and there went
dreams.
my Olympic dreams. I mean, yeah.
Right out the window.
Right. So I am clenched when
Yeah,
they were
you
on that balance
You
beam.
were on your way to Bella's camp.
Oh my god!
Yes.
Browbeat you out. One of the other things that really isn't. It's an athlete, but it's not him doing anything. Have you seen the guy on TikTok? He's a Norwegian swimmer named Henrik Christensen.
Is he?
And he's obsessed with the chocolate muffins that they.
Oh wait, that's not who I thought you meant.
So he has posted all these TikToks about I guess they serve in the Olympic Village these chocolate muffins, and he loves them.
Oh
and so
my
he has
God,
made a
missing the
series
boat.
of TikToks about like hoarding them, or every time like people like, wait, where's so and so, and he'll turn and he'll just have like chocolate muffin all over his
He's gonna
face.
come back like no abs anymore or
yeah,
anything
he's-
like that.
Just look it up. It's funny.
That is funny. I'm not on TikTok, and I know I'm missing. I'm afraid that if I am, I'll never be off of it. So
well, just keep if you see any Olympic athlete with a chocolate muffin, it's him.
I
And-
thought you meant the man whose job it is to retrieve the swim caps.
oh my
that are lost.
Lord.
It is his job. He wears a tidy Speedo like a Frenchman would do.
And he shouldn't.
And again, he's built better than me, but
he didn't need to be wearing that.
but he dives in and good retraieves the lost swim caps.
I
Who
thought he
knew
was-
that was someone's job?
All
Yeah.
I know, I didn't know the caps fell on, but when I saw him, he just,
I thought at first it was a funny skit.
me
Yeah.
too.
I really thought it's a late night skit. They're
Because
just making fun
I think
of
he
somebody.
knows somebody, and good for him.
I just thought maybe his swimsuit should have been more like, I work here. Like it looked more like he got
He wants
loose.
to be seen.
It looked more like that he was a fan that got loose, kind of like at a baseball game on the
really thought
field.
it was a joke. And that made it even greater.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is his job.
He's
and
pretty
they're
amazing.
also the other thing I saw, other than the swim cap guy, was there's a lifeguard there, and I just thought, wow,
necessary?
They know how to swim.
there's a
I
lifeguard.
think there's
there.
enough people around. Somebody can grab him.
that is great.
The cap guy could. Yes. Okay. So, Kim, did you have any other athletes?
I don't know. I'm very fascinated with the synchronized diving, the men's, and I caught the men's and Tom Daly, for crying out loud.
Is he the knitter?
Huh?
He's the man that knits in the stands.
Yes.
Oh,
So
what a baby doll!
I probably shouldn't
love
even
him.
bring this
Yeah.
up because I just read just a headline. Do the men wear something in their Speedos?
Oh, boy.
To kind of like hide
A sock.
stuff. Okay.
They call it a
Okay.
Wait a minute, no, really?
dick sock.
Well, the cock sock. Wait, what? I can't believe I just said that. That's the article I read.
Rachel, you call it something else. Something
no-
we all three
I don't
said
have a name
something.
for it. I didn't think there was
I'm
anything.
educating you. Now listen.
No, hold on. What is it?
This partner of his this year is brand new. They've never synchronized. So as a gift,
Stop.
like get to know me, he knitted him a sock. And I think they wear them so they don't
I know, but
Kim is shaking her head at Rachel for anyone who's not
I'm
here.
itching my armpits as we speak because
I didn't know there was a thing. I just thought
I don't think he wears the knitted one there.
That would really
Because I'm pretty sure it's kind of like a bra for your
I was gonna say that would
area, your junk, for a guy's junk.
A knitting thing would be very bulky.
Or itchy.
Maybe someone,
it wasn't wool.
maybe someone was going for more bulk. Maybe they.
I don't know. I read it the other day and I was like, what?
No, wait a minute. There's
So, yes.
not a lot to the suit to begin with. So why are you
Because you've got
adding more?
It's like a.
I think it's like to hold it down.
I'm just saying. I hate this word, but it's like a jock strap.
Okay, jockstrap's what you hate after what you already said.
I called it the real name. That's
Is
what
it-
the article said. Cocksock. I mean, they're going to brand it. They're going to brand it after this.
Look it up. I will not look that up.
I'm pretty sure you will regret that.
I've fallen for
Google search.
Dix.com before. I'm not doing that
Google
again.
that. Do not Google that.
Oh my God, you guys are so funny. Okay.
You meant for Dick's Sporting Goods. Correct yourself.
yeah. Back in the day. Now you can do that because that is their thing now. But before,
You
it
just don't
wasn't.
type in
And I
that.
found that out the hard way.
But isn't Tom Daly just so
Adorbs.
lovable and just...
Love him.
He looks
my
like he's
turn?
12. Okay, yeah.
Do you know
on to the
him?
next.
God,
I don't know him. I've got a story. I do not. Okay,
good.
There is a female fencer named Nada. I'm probably not saying her name correctly.
The one that... Okay, go on.
7 months pregnant. She
Yeah, she just-
competed.
she just said
7 months pregnant, and I guess she did not reveal that to whomever. I don't know.
Does she do well?
I don't know. I didn't listen to
If
that
she
part.
wins the medal, does she get 2?
That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. But that's pretty cool.
I did not hear about that.
Female power right
All
there.
right, the next thing I'm going to talk about is since I didn't know what team she was from even.
Right.
I'm going to talk about the Brazilian men's volleyball team from the Pan Am Games in 1987 in Indianapolis.
Okay.
You're going Pan Am games on me?
Okay, hold on for one. Because they did end up in 1992 winning the gold medal. So
Okay.
this is an Olympic connection.
Okay. Okay.
But for the Pan Am Games, I played volleyball in high school, as you know, and we got to be like the ball girls. And it was at Hinkle, and we got to like sit on the
that'd be
court and do
fun,
whatever.
yeah.
So the men's Brazilian team was so cute. And apparently they had no trouble flirting with 16 and 17-year-old girls because
It was okay in their country.
we would hang out in the bleachers with them. Oh my God, why were we not being monitored? I don't know. Because they gave several of us jerseys of theirs.
You get to do the coolest things.
Yeah, it was very fun. And I was trying to find some pictures. I know I still have my badge from the Pan Am Games. But I will try to find it. But yeah, they were very handsome.
Name
And so
drop. Who was in the 92 Olympics that you met at Hinkle?
Well, okay, so that guy, the one that I thought was cutest,
Yeah.
his name was Paulo, and they mainly spoke Portuguese, which was similar enough to Spanish that I think we said 3 words to each other. But the American, who was very big at the time, was Karch Karai.
Yes.
And he was like...
He's a
it.
coach now.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
Wow, listen to you two
So-
with your volleyball knowledge.
Well, I have a volleyball story.
So go ahead.
Did you see, and this isn't a good story, I don't really want to talk about it too long, but beach volleyball, I think Karch Karai is right now a U.S. coach.
Okay.
But the guy that's competing for, let me see.
Don't say it. I know
Yeah,
it.
no.
Don't. Okay.
Yeah, so he's a Dutch diver. I'm Dutch volleyball player. And here it is. His name is Steven van de Velde, and he's a Dutch beach volleyball player, and he's competing in the Olympics right now in Paris. And he had been in jail last year for, as they said, intimacy with a 12-year-old, which we call it something else here in the United States. But he was convicted and spent a year in jail for an underage inappropriate relationship, and they let him represent their country.
Well, not only that, but then how did the Olympic Committee say, oh,
I don't know.
no?
Well, and the
Maybe
thing,
are there not guidelines? I don't know. Maybe there was not a need.
Yeah, I mean...
but the thing that made me so mad, and it was just so gross, is that he does something like that, and I guess he got booed. Thank God.
So people
people
knew.
knew.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like
Yes.
getting away with, and I think he lost. But anyway, he gets to compete in the Olympics after doing something horrific like that. And then the U.S. track star, remember for Tokyo when Sha'Carri Richardson was supposed to go compete in track and field for the U.S. She was like the best women's sprinter. And then she was denied access to the Olympics because she tested positive for marijuana.
That's
so
right.
she was denied competing because of marijuana. And this fool got to represent his country, and he was a convicted felon. I don't get it. And Kart Karai would be mad about it.
As he should.
Okay. I just wanted to be mad about
gross.
that for a second. It is gross. Any other stories that you wanted to...
I do have two more.
Okay, two more.
A couple more things. Do you know what the 5 rings represent? The 5 Olympic rings?
No.
I've seen it written before, but I could not verbatim tell you anything.
The 5 rings represent the union of the 5 inhabited continents.
Ooh.
Now, what are the 5 inhabited continents, you two? I didn't know until I looked it up. Would you like me to tell you?
Yeah.
Because you know I'm geography stupid.
Oh, me too. I couldn't.
It's not Antarctica.
It is not. It is Africa, the Americas, Asia, Europe, and Oceania. That's what it said. I don't know.
That's neat.
Okay.
So that's what the 5 rings represent. And when they were made, the colors of the flags of all of those places were those colors.
Okay.
I do enjoy seeing the blinged out jewelry. I think there's a track. Is it the fastest guy? The track star, the American. He's got the rings in like crystals.
Oh.
It's really, really cool.
Oh, I
and I
haven't seen
love
it.
seeing the little tattoos or the little
Right.
makeup art with the rings.
You best believe if I was in the Olympics, I would
yeah.
totally have that tattoo.
Yeah.
Okay, that really makes me want to do the next one that I have name dropping, but I'm going to wait on that one. But
Okay.
So I'm going to do another one. And it is Lindsey Vonn.
Yeah. Okay.
She was 2010 Winter Olympics. She won gold in downhill skiing. She was the first American woman to win that
And
ever.
she dated Tiger Woods.
Yes. And Zach met her when he won the Prudential Spirit of
Oh my
Community
God.
Well, that's neat.
thingy, the volunteer thing.
Yeah.
So he met Lindsey Vonn. So I have a picture of him with her.
I love that.
Very cool.
And when you said the fastest man, now I'm going to say my other one, and it is FloJo,
Oh, yeah.
Florence Griffith Joyner. I wouldn't say we hung out, but she and the other parts of the Olympic track and field were at the zoo back when I worked there in like 87, 88, 89, I don't remember. But I would walk around and sell balloons, which is utterly ridiculous because they're not even allowed to have balloons there now. But part of my job sometimes was to do that.
Yeah.
And she was there and taking pictures with people and just walking around.
And was she taking her nails and popping the balloons?
No, but she should have. I would have.
Yeah.
She could have, and I wouldn't have been mad.
Yeah.
Did Angie do her nails?
I wish. But that is not the major connection.
What is it?
With FloJo is that she passed away from a seizure in her sleep when she was 38. Okay. She had a seizure and was face down and suffocated. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Her seizure was brought on by a cerebral cavernous malformation. She had what Zach has.
I had no idea.
So that
I
is
did
my
not either. For some
FloJo
reason, I thought that
connection.
hers was like heart related. That is
Well, a lot of people thought that, and a lot of people thought it was doping until it came out in the autopsy that it was not, and that's what it was. And I am Facebook friends with her daughter, Mary, and she's very good about talking to her mom and keeping her spirit alive. But who doesn't love FloJo? She is still 36 years later, holds the record for the 100 and 200 meter.
She's amazing.
And she is still considered the fastest woman ever.
Oh, that's
that is
wonderful.
real. Oh, I like that.
You're so good. I know there's not a topic we can talk about that Tracy can't
She's got her connections
roll
everywhere.
out the red carpet.
Yeah.
Well, I think that we've pretty much told you everything that you needed to know up to this point about what's happening in the Olympics. Look forward to watching next week to see all the other storylines that happen. If we didn't touch on a story that that you particularly love, feel free to reach out. We'd be happy to discuss it at a later time. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Up for Grabs.